Well, hi, welcome to my podcast, Don the Grant Guy, and I've invited Renee Rainville onto my podcast, and she is an online marketer. She and is just starting out in Google with Google Ads and so forth. So I want to have her on the podcast and get to know her and talk to her a little bit about her experience and where she's coming from and where she's going. So Renee, welcome.
Thank you, Don. Thanks for having me on your podcast.
Why don't you introduce yourself and tell people a little about yourself?
Sure. My name is Renee Rainville. I have been in the marketing industry, branding, and health services for over 25 years. And lately noticed how a social media presence is the most important uh, ticket to the game that you need. And I was lagging, a little bit older, and was reluctant to embrace some of the new technology. Glad I came across some resources and that helped me to get the ball rolling.
Well, what is your? I mean, what do you advertise online right now? What's your core business? I guess I should say.
Okay, well, so I started off in sales and marketing,
Mhm.
and I happened to notice that while I was working really hard to gain customers, my health began failing.
Mm.
So I had to take a little bit of a break from prospecting and building my business to focus on my health.
Mhm.
That happened about 20 years ago, and I changed my business direction as a result of that. I feel as though entrepreneurs, if they don't have their health, then they can't focus on their wealth or their market share. So I parlayed my business into it's called evidence-based improvement in EBI Partners, because I partner with a lot of different businesses that are at the top of their industry in order to help people improve. And uh, I improve health, wealth, and market share. And I span it's a bit far reaching for some people to understand. Usually you're just focusing on branding or you're focusing on traffic and getting new leads. But I truly believe that without your health, you can't pursue any of those endeavors.
So are your is so basically? I mean, do you have a brick and mortar, or is this all online? I mean, how do you?
Well, I do have an online shop, EBI Partners, ebi.partners/shop is where I sell the majority of my vitamins that
Mhm.
help people remain healthy or get healthy if they're not healthy so that they can continue working on their business. So I did have, and I do still focus on my core online shop in
Okay.
order to sell, which has been helpful. However, I learned a few new marketing techniques through sales funnels, and I was applying those new techniques, and they've been helpful, but it costs a lot of money to try to find the right traffic, to try to use the right headline in order to get the most amount of leads when you're spending money on online advertising.
Okay. So have you? I mean, what specifically have you advertised on online?
Oh, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and Google ads. So far, that has been the bread and butter that I have focused on.
Have you had any? I mean, tell me about your experience with Facebook. I'm just curious how that's gone for you.
Well, I mean, I think that you've heard about the slap that Facebook and Google have done. There was a certain lower price per click that you were paying when you first start, and then overnight it goes from like $10 to $50. And for a marketer like me, that's a smaller game. I'm a small to mid-sized business.
Uh-huh.
That just takes you out of the game immediately. I had to get a little bit more creative. I had to spend more money trying to find organic leads and
Mhm.
some coaches and some classes that I could take that would find these evergreen leads that would totally be coming to me instead of me reaching out and searching for them. So it's costly. It's costly, but it's effective. It really is effective. If you want to get your message out there, you really do have to spend money on ads.
Would you say that? Would you say that trying to get the organic leads is that more difficult in a lot of ways? Because I would, yeah.
It's extremely difficult, Don. It's very difficult. And you have to lay down a lot of groundwork prior to that coming to fruition. You
Uh-huh.
really have to start, um, you have to start groups, and you have to remain relevant, and you have to be consistent every single day.
Mhm.
And eventually it will pay off, but it's a lot more work than somebody with a small to medium sized business that wears all the different hats in the business. It was a lot for me to keep up with. It was helpful, and I help other people do that who don't have enough money for ads, but it's cumbersome to say the least.
So you have a family, right?
Yeah, yes. Two online learners that have been back to school, and one that just graduated from college.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're running your business from home, is that correct?
I do. Currently, I'm working from home and loving every minute of it.
Oh, okay. So how has that been trying to run a business and take care of the home fires as well?
Lots of new roadblocks. These online learners have full access to me. So every time they need something, they can come over and interrupt. And it's really to make a day of seamless work. There's a lot of stop gaps in between.
Okay. Now you mentioned that you were working with Google, YouTube and Google. I mean, can tell me about what your experience has been like with Google.
Well, a bit of a learning curve at first. It wasn't super easy. And the ads, like I said, they cost money. So the more people that are clicking on your ad, if you have a really wonderful, juicy ad that has, an irresistible offer, then you get more clicks. But if I had an unlimited amount of money, then I would be able to A/B test this. Is this headline working? Is this headline working better? I could spend more money. The way that I learned in all the classes, it was really wonderful because you have all this A/B testing. But if you don't have the money to back it up, you can just test A and see, and hope for the best. And it really does take a lot of the marketing budget, a huge chunk, in order to really fine tune what it is that you're looking for.
Well, if we go back to Facebook and Google, which one do you think is better? I mean, which one do you think is? I mean, as far as user friendly, or I guess really the most important thing is what brings in the clicks. I suppose.
Well, it's an easy answer for me, and that would be Google all the way. And I'll tell you why. My warm market is part of Facebook, so I can get to my warm market, and I can try to utilize them with my irresistible offers for them to share and encourage them to share. And you can get down to certain demographics with the Facebook ads. However, everybody's on Google. Everybody is on Google. Everybody, when they want to find something, they do a Google search, and Google search ads are probably the most popular. I think Google AdWords and Google search ads that pop up when you search on golf balls or
Right.
golf ball washer, things like that. Those I find garner a little bit more traffic than, say, the Facebook ads, and
Right.
they're cheaper. Well, for the way that I use them, they're cheaper.
Okay. So now, full disclosure, that you and I have started working together because I reached out to you about a project that I'm working with, or working on, and it's about I was able to help you get a Google grant for your advertising. So
Game changer.
tell me a little bit about what your reaction was when I approached you and said, hey, I think there's a way that we can just hyperdrive your business, your online business, by getting $10,000 worth of free Google ads every month. What was your first reaction when you heard that?
It was, had I not followed you in business and known your business acumen and known for you to be an upstanding man in this branding industry, had I not learned from you in the past, I might have thought, this is too good to be true. This is a scam. There's no way that this could be real. When it was first mentioned, of course, I'm a nerd, so I started Googling everything,
Right.
ironically, pun intended. And I noticed that this Google ad grant had been around since 2003. So that gave me confidence to know that I wasn't the only one in the world hearing about this wonderful Google ad grant. But when I found out I could get $10,000 in free ads, Google ads per month, I was like, what? Sign me up. How do I do it? What do I need to do? I knew that that's what I needed. Once I found all these funnels, these sales funnels, and the technique in order to have my ideal customer come to me instead of me searching for them or prospecting or cold calling, everything that I was doing that I was very happy to do. When I switched from that tactic to the sales funnels, and then I was like, oh crap, I could be so much more successful at this if only I had more money. If I had more money for my ads budget, then I could really knock this out of the park. Or I could at least use that learning curve where I wasn't really sure what I was doing, and I'm still kind of not sure what I'm doing. To have extra money to try these things out, that would have been wonderful. So taking the next step and learning what I needed to do and signing up for this Google ad grant project, it was the best thing that I could have ever done for myself. I can't believe how lucky I am to have found out about this program.
So what do you think that's going to do for your advertising budget? I mean, I guess the way I put this is, how do you think this is going to affect your business once you really start?
It's huge, because all that money that I've been spending on my advertising budget now can be sent elsewhere within. I mean, it's when you own a business, there's an unlimited amount of costs that come through. And
you told me once that one of the things you really want to do is be able to get your own office. And
yeah, I do want my own office space. So you can't see around me, but this area where you see is really neat and tidy a little bit. And all around it is all my stuff from my office. We have a very open floor plan. And now that I'm working from home, I would really love some office space. So that's going to be the first thing that I do. But, reducing that ads budget down to zero. I wasn't even spending $10,000 in ads per month because I didn't have $10,000 in ads per month. But soon I will be making that much money based off of the ads that I'm putting in with my Google ad grant. I will be able to parlay that into definitely an office space. And if not, I can upgrade the area where I store a lot of my supplements. And that would be my next on my wish list.
So do you think you're ever going to go to brick and mortar, or are you just going to stay online, even if you get
I never want to go brick and mortar. I want to service everybody. And where I'll spend my money brick and mortar wise would be to store my inventory in a temperature controlled area so that everything remains fresh. But I don't have any interest in having a physical store, besides perhaps a place where people could come and hang out and try some of the supplements and some of these marketing ideas if they have their own business, so that they could try to execute and implement some of these things. But other than that, I love being online. I love the online presence. I love being able to reach people. I'm in California right now. I grew up in New England, and I'm constantly doing business on the East Coast and the West Coast to be able to reach everybody. And with pertinent ads, I'm blown away.
So, so tell me what exactly that you're selling right now. I mean, what are your products?
Okay. Well, thanks for asking. And I'd like to say that my wheelhouse is supplements and alternative healing therapies. To let you know why I have so much passion behind this, raising my oldest, who just graduated from the University of Vermont, cum laude in Phi Beta Kappa. So proud of her. While she was young, I was raising her both emotionally and financially myself. And I got really sick. And I couldn't work, and I couldn't pay my bills, and I was scared. I didn't know exactly what to do. And there's a lot of opportunities that are legitimate opportunities that you can work from home that I was not aware of. All the ones back in the day, and they all seem like a scam. If I seem like I think everything's a scam, I probably do, because I never had anything to fall back on. So I couldn't take risks. I couldn't try things that maybe would be a financial burden for me, because I didn't have anything to fall back on. So I knew that I had to fix my health, and I did everything my doctors had said, but I was continuing to get more and more sick. And, after a while, I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I did a lot of research on how the human body is trying to work, and what we're doing as human beings, as Americans usually, to work against it. So I shifted everything that nutritionally, diet, sleep, hydration, and I did as much research as I could on what supplements are the most important when your ship is tilting, what rights the ship. So that was the most important. And then I had to get the word out. So I started using creative ways to brand things and creative marketing techniques and strategies, just so that I could try to stand out amongst the rest. I mean, if you know that there's supplements everywhere, but you don't know that some are laced with bacteria.
Right. What specifically are you selling? What are your supplements?
Oh, well, I'm a vitamin C powder and vitamin B3 as niacin maven. I am on a mission to get everybody in the world taking 10,000 grams, not milligrams, of vitamin C powder per day, and 3,000 grams, not milligrams, of vitamin B3 as niacin per day. And I think that those two things alone will raise your immunity level to a point where you can actually begin to heal. But there's also, I've got a transdermal gel and some phototherapy patches that are also very easy to apply and will kick your healing up a notch. But at the same time as I do that, Don, I'm also I'm teaching these marketing strategies that I learned so that at the same time I can help improve your health, your wealth, and your market share. So that if you don't have your health, you're not going to be selling anything.
Well, listen, where can our listeners find you? How can they find you if they're interested?
Well, if they want some supplements, the best presence is to go to ebi.partners/shop. So it's evidence-based improvement is the EBI. And then it's not a .com, it's .partners. So ebi.partners/shop. And that will get to the vitamin shop. That's the easiest way.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, I really want to thank you for coming on today. It was great talking to you, and congratulations on taking that huge step forward with your marketing using the Google Ad Grant. And maybe in a couple months we'll come back and you can tell us how it's going and how
I would love to do that. Thank
before and
you for
after.
this opportunity. And
Yeah.
yeah, the Google Ad Grant is the game changer, and I'm really grateful to have this opportunity. Can't wait to show you my results.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Renee, and we'll talk soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.